The Whole Story of the Doughnut by Pat Miller. In 1844, Hanson Gregory was just 13 when he went to sea. He left the family farm to become a cabin boy on the schooner Isaac Echo of Rockport, Maine. Hanson quickly rose to cook's assistant and then was put to work high in the rigging. He ran up the ratlines barefoot as high as 8 stories to hurl or release the sails. He could steer a ship of the trackless waves by sun and the stars. By 19, Hanson was captain of the cargo schooner Hardscrabble. Tall, with canvas stretched to the wind. In a few more years, Captain Gregory raced his cargo from Maine to California as commander of the Clipper, the fastest ship on the ocean. On one voyage, he risked ship and crew to rescue 7 Spanish sailors from certain death in a frigid sea. When the news reached Spain, Queen Elizabeth II awarded Captain Gregory the Medal for Heroism. But what about the pastry? For that, we'll have to go back to June 22nd, 1847. The crew of the Ivanhoe had worked up a mighty appetite through the night. The sun was barely up as 16-year-old Hanson and the cook prepared breakfast. It would be the same coffee and fried cakes they served most of the morning on the Ivanhoe. The cook tossed wood into the belly of the cask from the stove, heating the cauldron of lard. Hanson formed balls of sweetened dough. Both men stood up on spread legs as they camped. The cramped galley lurched with the ship. Pans clanged overhead, and the aroma of brown sugar rose as the cook dropped in the first blobs of dough. The iron railing on the stovetop kept the pot in place as the Ivanhoe bucked and plunged. When the cakes were fried, Hanson dumped them out on the dining table. They were sweet and crisp, at least around the edges. Their raw centers, heavy with grease, made them drop like cannonballs in the stomach. Sailors called them sinkers. As Hanson shaped another batch, he was struck by an idea. He took the round lid of a pepper can and cut perfect holes in the center of each sinker. Then he tossed the rings into the bubbling lard. The cook had never seen such a downright fool thing. Neither had the sailors who showed up for breakfast, but that didn't keep them from taking a bite. The cakes were brown, sweet, and fully cooked. Sighs of delight rose above the noisy sea. A new breakfast tradition was born. The teenage Hanson shared his invention with his mother. she cooked up large batches to sell in a friend's store, and on the docks to hungry sailors. Ship's cooks now served holy cakes. That's how Hansen's invention spread around the world. And down the years and right into your stomach. But sailors like their stories bold. Not satisfied with the pastry's humble origin, they spun legends worthy of such a delicious treat. One told how Captain Gregory wrestled the wheel as the sea became a monster. The first mate brought sinkers to keep up with the captain's strength. Just as the captain grabbed one, the waves crashed over his head. Captain Gregory speared that sinker on the wheels, spoke. He invented the donut while he saved the ship. Another legend tells how the wild waves grabbed 5 sailors and pulled them overboard right after breakfast. With bellies full of oily pastries, they sank like stones. Captain Gregory shouted, "Never again." He used a wooden laying pin to punch holes in every cake, so they resembled the ship's life rings. No sailor has since been drowned by his breakfast. Interviewed in 1916 for the Patriot Ledger, Captain Gregory seemed amused at all the fuss over his invention 69 years before. He laughed as he teased the reporter who had invented the first hole ever seen by mortal eyes. When the reporter asked if he was pleased with his invention, Captain Gregory replied, "Well, sir, these donuts were the finest I ever tasted. No indigestion, no more sinkers, just well done, fried through donuts." At 89, Captain Gregory died at the Sailors' Snug Harbor, a home for sailors near Quincy, Massachusetts. He was buried overlooking the sea where stormy weather can be spotted as readily as it was from the quarterdeck of the Hardscrabble. May the donut be with you.